Blood dripped from the boy's cracked lips onto the little girl's braided hair. She wasn't moving. 12-year-old Darius collapsed at the Hells Angels gate at 3:12 a.m., his thin arms refusing to release the 6-year-old child pressed against his chest. "Please protect her," he gasped. "They're coming. They'll kill her." When the bikers lifted the girl's sleeve, what they discovered made hardened men turn away. Cigarette burns. Dozens of them. But that wasn't the shocking part. The shocking part was what the boy said next. "She's not my sister. I found her in a cage. There are 17 more children still trapped there." Before we begin, subscribe to our channel and watch until the end. Comment your city below so we can see how far this story travels. The gate alarm screamed through the Texas night. Thomas Walker, they called him. Iron grabbed the shotgun beside his bed before his eyes fully opened. 58 years old, Hells Angels chapter president. 15 years since he'd slept through a full night. Not since Iraq. Not since Amelia. He moved toward the security monitors without turning on a single light. The screen flickered. Iron stopped breathing. A kid. Black. Maybe 12. Covered in blood. Carrying someone in his arms, a little girl. Her head hung back. Braids with pink beads catching the harsh security lights. "Hawk!" His voice split the darkness. "Diesel now!" Hawk appeared in 3 seconds, shirtless, pistol drawn. "What the hell?" "Front gate. Move." Iron threw open the door. Texas heat slammed into him even at 3 a.m. The boy looked up. Terror. Pure animal terror. Iron had seen that look before on soldiers watching their friends die. "Please." The word came out broken. "Please help her. They're coming. They'll kill her. Please." His eyes rolled back. He collapsed forward. Iron lunged, caught the girl before she hit concrete. She weighed nothing, like holding bones wrapped in cloth. "Get them inside. Now!" Hawk scooped up the boy. Blood dripped from a gash on the kid's forehead, leaving a trail across the gravel. "Diesel, lock that gate. Kill every light." "What about calling? Did I stutter? Move." 30 seconds later, the compound went dark. Iron laid the girl on the leather couch. Her breathing was shallow. A ragged doll, missing one button eye, clutched against her chest, so tight her knuckles had gone white. He pressed his palm to her forehead. "Burning up. 104, maybe higher." Hawk knelt beside the boy. "This kid's half dead. Lips cracked through. How far did they walk? Don't know yet." Diesel burst back in. Saw the children. Froze. "Jesus Christ. Water, towels, first aid kit, go." "Iron, what happened to—" "I said go." Diesel ran. "Hawk, call Rosa. Your sister. It's 3 a.m. She's a pediatric nurse. These kids need help we can't give, and we can't take them to a hospital, not until we know what we're dealing with." Hawk pulled out his phone. The girl stirred. Her eyes opened deep brown ancient, in a way no 6-year-olds should be. She saw Iron's face, the leather cut, the tattoos, the beard. And she screamed. Not a normal scream. Something primal. Something that had been building for years. She screamed until no sound came out, her mouth still open, her chest still heaving, silent. Iron dropped his voice low. Gentle. Hey, sweetheart. You're safe. No one's going to hurt you here." Nothing. She stared through him. The boy groaned. Destiny. His eyes snapped open. He saw Iron standing over the girl. His face hardened. He lunged. Iron caught his wrist. Easy. I'm not going to hurt her. Get away from her. Kid, look around. You came to us. You asked us to protect her. That's what we're doing. The boy's eyes darted. Leather furniture. Motorcycle parts. Men in cuts watching from doorways. The fight drained out of him. Where am I? Hell's Angels Clubhouse, Texas chapter. I'm Iron. He released the kid's wrist. Who's after you? The boy looked at the girl. She was still staring at nothing, clutching her doll mouth, moving in silent words. Her name's Destiny. She hasn't talked in 8 months. 8 months? Not since they... He stopped, swallowed hard. Since they... What? Silence. Diesel returned. Water, towels, first aid kit. Iron pressed a bottle into the boy's hands. Drink. Slow. The kid drank like he'd never tasted water before. What's your name? Darius. How old? 12. The girl? 6. She doesn't remember her birthday. Iron felt ice form in his stomach. She doesn't remember. She doesn't remember anything. Not her parents, not her home, nothing before the cage. Cage. Darius's hands started shaking. Water sloshed in the bottle. There's a ranch, 60 miles northeast, hidden in the brush. Nobody knows it's there. What kind of ranch? The kind where kids go in and don't come out. Dead silence. Hawk stepped forward. Kid, what exactly are you saying? Darius set down the bottle. His hands steadied. Like saying it out loud made it more real. I've been there 4 years, since I was 8. They grabbed me outside a bus station in Houston, said they were taking me to a group home. He laughed, no humor in it. It wasn't a group home. What was it? A holding facility. They keep kids there, move them around, sell them. Diesel made a choking sound. How many kids? Iron's voice was barely controlled. 17, in the basement, in cages. He paused. Destiny was in the one next to mine. She was 2 when they brought her in. She's been there 4 years. Iron closed his eyes. Just for a second. Just long enough to push down the rage exploding in his chest. How did you get out? One of the guards got careless, left a door unlocked after he... Darius stopped. His whole body went rigid. After he finished with one of the younger kids. The words hung in the air like poison gas. I grabbed Destiny and ran. We traveled 3 nights. Hid during the day. 3 nights in this heat. She stopped walking 15 miles back. I carried her the rest of the way. 15 miles. Carrying a 6-year-old. Through Texas summer. How did you know to come here? I didn't. I saw the bikes. The sign. Darius's voice cracked. My dad used to ride. Before he died. He told me bikers protect people who can't protect themselves. His eyes filled with tears. I didn't have anywhere else to go. The front door opened. Rosa walked in silver-streaked Locks Scrubs medical bag in hand. 30 years of emergency medicine in her eyes. She looked at the children. Her face went hard. Everyone out, except Iron. The men filtered away. Rosa knelt beside Destiny. What's her name? Destiny. Destiny, sweetheart. I'm Rosa. I'm a nurse. I'm going to check you over, okay? No response. No blink. No movement. Rosa examined her. Pulse, temperature, eyes, ears. She lifted the girl's thin arm and stopped. Iron. Her voice had changed. Cold. Hard. What? She pushed up the sleeve. Cigarette burns. Dozens of them, running up and down the inside of her arm, some old and faded, some still scabbed. Iron's hands curled into fists. "There's more," Rosa said. She lifted the back of the dress. Welts, bruises in every shade, marks from a belt, from a switch, from things Iron didn't want to imagine. "How long?" His voice was a whisper. "Years. Some of these scars are years old. Some are days. Days. This child has been systematically tortured for most of her life." Darius spoke from behind them. "They all have, all 17. But Destiny got it worse because she wouldn't stop crying." Iron turned. In the beginning, she used to cry for her mama. They beat her until she stopped. That's when she stopped talking. Rosa looked at Darius. "Take off your shirt." "I'm fine." That wasn't a request. He hesitated, then pulled the hoodie over his head. Same story. Scars, bruises, ribs showing through stretched skin. "Jesus," Rosa breathed. "I'm fine. Just help Destiny." Iron walked to the window, stared at his reflection. An old man with too many ghosts. 60 miles away. 17 children in cages. He'd spent 25 years with the Hells Angels. Done things he wasn't proud of. Things that would put him in prison forever. But he'd always had a code. Protect the innocent. Punish the guilty. Never harm a child. Someone had shattered that code, and they were still out there, still operating, still hurting kids. "Hawk," his VP appeared instantly. "Call church, everyone, now. It's 4 a.m. I don't care if it's midnight on Christmas. I want every member in the chapel in 1 hour." "What do I tell them?" Iron turned around. His face had changed. The weariness was gone. Something cold had taken its place. Something dangerous. "Tell them we're going to war." The chapel. No windows. One door. 18 men around the table. Iron stood at the head. 3 hours ago, a boy and a girl showed up at our gate. They escaped from a place 60 miles northeast, a place where children are held prisoner. Murmuring. Iron raised his hand. "What I'm about to tell you will make you sick. It'll make you angry. It'll make you want to ride out there right now and burn everything to the ground." Pause. "I need you to listen first. Understood?" Nods. He told them everything. The ranch, the cages, the abuse, the buyers, the children who disappeared. When he finished, silence. Not peaceful silence. The silence before an explosion. Diesel stood up so fast his chair crashed backward. "Then what the hell are we sitting here for? Let's go. Sit down." "Iron," I said, "sit down." Diesel's jaw clenched. He sat. Hawk spoke. Calm. Controlled. "What's the play? First we get information. Where exactly is this place? How many guards? What security? We go in blind, we die, and those kids never get saved." Doc raised his hand. "What about the cops?" "The kid says they've got law enforcement on payroll." "You believe him?" "I believe the burns on that little girl's arms. I believe the scars on that boy's back. Someone's been hurting those children for years and nobody stopped them." Doc nodded slowly. "So we handle it ourselves. We investigate, then we decide. Together." Hawk stood. "I'll call Spectre." Spectre, former DEA, left under circumstances nobody discussed. Their go-to for information. "Do it. Tell him I need everything by tomorrow night." "What about the kids?" Diesel asked. "Where do they stay?" Here, Rosa will check on them daily. And if the people from that ranch come looking, Iron's expression didn't change. Then they'll learn what happens when you threaten children under our protection. Iron found Darius on the floor next to Destiny's couch. The boy's eyes were red, exhausted, refusing to close. You should sleep. I can't. You said that 2 hours ago. I'll sleep when she's safe. Iron lowered himself to the floor. His knees protested. He wasn't young anymore. Can I ask you something? Darius nodded. Destiny, you said she was there when you arrived. 4 years ago. She was 2. Yeah. Do you know where she came from? Silence. She used to talk about them. Before she stopped. Her mama had brown hair. Her daddy sang to her at night. She said they were going to a store. Then a man grabbed her. From a parking lot. She was in the car. Her mama went inside. When she came back, Destiny was gone. Iron felt like someone had punched him. Her parents didn't abandon her. No. Someone stole her. She was 2 years old, waiting for her mama. And someone just took her. Do you know where? She was too young to remember. All she remembered was a blue truck and candy that made her sleep. Somewhere out there, Destiny's parents were still searching, still hoping, still waiting. We're going to find them, Iron said. Her parents. We're going to bring them their daughter back. Darius looked at him. What if they don't want her anymore? It's been 4 years. What if they gave up? Have you ever met a parent who lost a child? No. They never give up. They never move on. They spend every day wondering, praying. Iron's voice went rough. Trust me, I know. Darius studied his face. You lost someone. My daughter, Amelia, 15 years ago, leukemia. She was 9. I'm sorry. So am I. Every single day. Iron pulled out the locket from under his shirt, opened it. A faded photograph, a little girl with his eyes, and her mother's smile. After she died, I thought I'd never feel anything again. I rode, I drank, I fought, I tried to outrun the grief. Then I realized you don't outrun it. You carry it. He closed the locket. But tonight you showed up at my door. A boy who spent 4 years protecting a little girl because no one else would. A boy who carried her 50 miles because he believed someone would help. He met Darius's eyes. I can't save my daughter. She's gone. But I can save Destiny. I can save you. I can make sure what happened in that place never happens again. Darius was crying now. Silent tears. I can't stop watching out for her, even here. What if they find us? They won't. You don't know that. You're right, but I know something they don't. What? Iron stood. Through the window, headlights approached. Members arriving. They just picked a fight with the Hell's Angels, and we don't lose. The sun rose. Destiny stirred. Her eyes opened. Clear. Present. She looked at Darius. Then Iron. Then back at Darius. Her mouth formed a word, no sound. But Iron could read it. Safe. Darius took her hand. Yeah, Destiny. We're safe. These people are going to help us. She looked at Iron. Those ancient eyes, weighing, judging. Then she nodded. Something cracked open in Iron's chest. Something he thought died with Amelia. Hope. Rosa returned in the afternoon. Food, real food, soup, bread, fruit. They need nutrition, not just calories. These kids have been starving. Whatever they need. Rosa looked at him. You're getting attached. Is that a problem? Just be careful. These children need more than protection. They need therapy, stability, years of healing. I can try. That's what worries me. She left. Iron watched the children sleep. His phone rang. Spectre. Talk to me. Found the ranch, 62 miles northeast. Property registered to a shell company in Delaware. Who owns it? Pause. You're not going to like it. Tell me. Sheriff Curtis Monroe. Iron closed his eyes. The sheriff. It gets worse. His cousin Victor runs operations. Did time for assault. Had trafficking charges dropped insufficient evidence. The sheriff's cousin runs a child trafficking ring on the sheriff's property. Yeah, and I found financial records. Payments from all over the country, routed through a charity called Brighter Futures Foundation. Let me guess. They claim to help at-risk kids. Bingo. How do we get in? That's the problem. Fenced property, armed guards, cameras everywhere. Going in loud is suicide. Then we go quiet. You'll need a solid plan. Iron smiled. It wasn't pleasant. I spent 15 years taking down enemy installations in places you can't pronounce. A ranch in Texas. That's vacation. He hung up. Hold on, he whispered to the sleeping children. Your brothers and sisters are coming home. 6 p.m. Destiny woke up screaming. Not silent this time. Sound came out. Raw, ragged, terrifying. Darius was at her side instantly. Destiny, it's me, you're safe. She didn't hear him. She was somewhere else. Somewhere dark. Full of monsters. Rosa pushed past Iron. Hold her arms, gently. Don't restrain, just hold. She crouched in front of Destiny. Destiny, listen to my voice. You're not there anymore. You're here. Feel the couch. Feel Darius's hands. You're safe. Slowly, impossibly slowly, the screaming stopped. Her eyes focused. She looked at Rosa, at Darius, at Iron in the doorway. Then she pointed at his chest, at the locket. And she spoke. Rusty, barely a whisper. Pretty. One word. After 8 months of silence. Darius burst into tears. Rosa's eyes filled. Iron walked forward, knelt in front of Destiny, took off the locket. You want to see? She nodded. He opened it, showed her the photograph. That's my little girl. Amelia. Where is she? 3 words, her voice growing stronger. In heaven. She got sick. The doctors couldn't help her. Destiny looked at the photograph, then at Iron. I'm sorry. She's pretty, like an angel. Iron, who hadn't cried since his daughter's funeral, felt tears streaming down his face. Dinner. Quiet. Everyone eating. Almost normal. Then headlights swept across the windows. One vehicle. Moving slow. Stopping at the gate. Hawk was already moving. Stay here. 1 minute. 2. He came back, face white. Iron, you need to see this. A police cruiser, idling at the gate. The driver stepped out. 60 years old. Gray hair. Sheriff's star on his chest. Sheriff Curtis Monroe. He smiled through the fence. Cold. Empty. Evening. Looking for 2 runaways. Boy and a girl. Reports say they came this way. Iron kept his face blank. Haven't seen any runaways. You sure the boy's dangerous? Mental problems. Kidnapped the girl from a group home 3 days ago. Group home. That's right. Her caretakers are worried sick. Good people. Just want their little girl back. Iron studied him. The pressed uniform, the practiced smile, the dead eyes. Like I said, haven't seen them. Monroe's smile flickered. Mind if I look around? Got a warrant. Didn't think I'd need one. Come back with one. The smile vanished. Monroe stepped closer. Listen carefully. I know they're here. I know you're hiding them. I know you think you're doing the right thing. Pause. You're not. You're interfering with an investigation, harboring a kidnapper, and you're putting yourself between me and something I will get back. His voice dropped. No matter what it takes. Iron didn't blink. That a threat? It's a promise. Monroe walked back to his cruiser, paused at the door. I'll be seeing you, Iron. Real soon. The cruiser disappeared into darkness. Hawk appeared at Iron's side. What do we do? Move up the timeline. We don't have enough intel. We don't have a choice. Iron turned to face him. He knows they're here. Which means the ranch knows. Which means those 17 kids just became liabilities. Understanding hit Hawk's face. They'll kill them. Cover their tracks. Tonight, if we don't stop them. Iron walked inside. Darius stood by the window, white-faced. That was him. The sheriff. The one who owns the ranch. Yeah, Darius's hands shook. He's coming back. He's going to take her. No, he's not. How can you? Because I'm going to stop him. Iron looked at the boy, at Destiny on the couch, at his brothers gathering in the common room. I'm going to tear his operation apart. I'm going to rescue those children, and I'm going to make sure Curtis Monroe never hurts another kid again. He turned to his men. Gear up. We ride in 1 hour. Diesel stepped forward. Iron, I'm coming. We all are, Hawk said. One by one, every man in that room nodded. Darius's voice cut through. I'm coming too. Absolutely not. I know that place. I know where the guards stand, where the cameras are, where they keep the kids. You need me. You're 12 years old. I survived 4 years in that hellhole. I got Destiny out when no one else could. Iron stared at him, at the determination in those young eyes, at the scars that told stories no child should know. You stay in the vehicle. You don't get out until I personally say it's clear. Understood. I mean it, Darius. If you disobey, I won't, I promise. Iron looked at Destiny. She was watching them. Those ancient eyes, that tiny body, that ragged doll. Bring them home, she whispered. Her voice was small, but clear. Bring them all home. Iron knelt in front of her. I will, I promise. She reached out, touched the locket. She's watching. Your angel. She wants you to save them. Iron couldn't speak. His throat had closed completely. He stood, faced his brothers. Let's ride. 18 motorcycles roared through the Texas darkness. Iron led the pack, his mind running through every scenario, every possible outcome, every way this could go wrong. 62 miles of empty highway. 62 miles to think about 17 children locked in cages. 62 miles to remember the burns on Destiny's arms. Darius rode behind, Hawk arms wrapped tight around the VP's waist. The kid hadn't said a word since they left, just stared ahead with eyes that looked older than Iron's. They killed their engines a quarter mile from the property. Silence crashed down like a wave. Iron gathered them close, voice barely above a whisper. Spectre's intel says 6 guards, 2 at the main gate, 2 patrolling the perimeter, 2 at the underground entrance where they keep the kids. Underground? Diesel's voice was tight. Basement. Converted storm cellar. That's where the cages are. Jesus. Hawk, take Doc and 3 others. Circle north. There's a gap in the fence line. You get in, you get to that cellar, you get those kids out. What about the guards? Leave them to me. Iron, I said leave them to me. Hawk nodded slowly. He knew that tone. Diesel, you stay with Darius. Keep him in the truck. If anything goes wrong, nothing's going wrong? If anything goes wrong, you get him out. You hear me? Diesel's jaw tightened. I hear you. Iron turned to Darius. You promised me. I know. You stay in that truck until I come for you personally, no matter what you hear, no matter what you see. I know. Say it. I'll stay in the truck. Iron held his gaze for a long moment, then nodded. Move out. They separated, shadows swallowing shadows. Iron approached the main gate alone. 2 guards, smoking, talking about football, laughing about something one of their kids said. Normal men having a normal conversation. While children rotted in cages 50 yards away, Iron's blood turned to ice. He moved closer. 20 years of military training. Silent. Invisible. The first guard never saw him coming. 1 hand over the mouth, 1 arm around the throat. Pressure point. Down in 3 seconds. The second guard turned at the sound. Eyes wide, hand reaching for his rifle. Too slow. Iron was on him before he could make a sound. 2 guards down. Zip-tied. Gagged. He waved his men forward. They moved through the gate like ghosts. Hawk's team peeled off toward the north fence. Iron led the rest toward the main building. A light flickered inside. Movement behind a window. Iron held up his fist. Everyone stopped. Voices. 2 men. Maybe 3. Shipments coming tomorrow. 8 more from Louisiana. 8? Where the hell are we going to put 8 more? Not our problem. Boss says we make room, we make room. The buyer from Houston's still interested in the little one, the quiet girl. Iron's hands curled into fists. She's gone. The boy took her 3 nights ago. Monroe's gonna skin someone alive for that. Monroe's gonna skin everyone alive. You see his face when he found out. Laughter. Casual. Like they were discussing lost inventory. Iron kicked the door in. 3 men. Scrambling for weapons. Iron was faster. 2 shots. 2 shoulders. Non-lethal. They went down screaming. The third dove behind a couch. Who the hell? Iron crossed the room in 3 strides, grabbed the man by his collar, slammed him against the wall. Where's Victor Monroe? I don't know what you're... Iron slammed him again. Harder. Where? Back building underground. With the merchandise, please. Merchandise. Iron's voice was quiet. Deadly. You call them merchandise. I didn't mean... Iron's fist connected with the man's jaw. He crumpled. Secure these 3. Nobody moves. He headed for the back door. The underground entrance was exactly where Spectre said. A concrete bunker built into a small hill. Heavy metal door. 2 guards. They'd heard the commotion. Rifles up. Alert. Freeze! Don't move! Iron didn't slow down. 2 shots rang out from his left. Both guards dropped, clutching their legs, screaming. Hawk emerged from the shadows, pistol smoking. You're welcome. I had it. Sure you did. They reached the metal door, padlocked from the outside. Hawk stared at it. They lock children in from the outside. Yeah. Like animals. Yeah. Iron shot the padlock. It shattered. He pulled the door open. The smell hit him first. Urine. Fear. Decay. the smell of suffering concentrated in a small space for years. Then he heard them, whimpering, crying, small voices begging in the darkness. "It's okay." His voice cracked. "We're here to help. No one's going to hurt you anymore." He found the light switch. Fluorescent bulbs flickered to life. And Iron saw them. Cages. Actual cages. Like you'd keep animals in. 17 of them lined against concrete walls. And in each cage, a child. The oldest maybe 13. The youngest couldn't have been more than 4. Hawk made a sound behind him. Something between a sob and a scream. "Get them out! Get them all out! Now!" They found bolt cutters in a supply closet. One by one, the cages opened. One by one, children emerged. Blinking. Flinching. Most couldn't walk. Their legs had forgotten how. A boy, maybe 10. Red hair freckles hidden under dirt grabbed Iron's arm. "Darius. Where's Darius? He said he'd send help. Is he? He's safe. He's outside." The boy burst into tears. He promised. He promised he'd come back. He kept his promise. Doc gathered the children together, counting heads, checking injuries. 15. 16. "Iron," Hawk's voice. "Strange. What? There's 17 cages." Iron looked, counted again. 16 children. One cage was empty, door hanging open. Fresh bloodstains on the floor. "Where's the 17th kid?" A girl spoke up, 12 years old, eyes that had given up hope long ago. "They took her, an hour ago, to the office. A man came with money." Iron's blood went cold. "What man?" "I don't know, he's been here before, 3 times. He wanted to buy..." Her voice broke. "He wanted to buy Sarah." "Sarah, that's her name. She's 5. She has blonde hair. She cries a lot." Iron turned to Hawk. "Get these kids out. Get them to the trucks. I'm going to find Sarah." "Iron. Go!" He ran, back through the compound, past the unconscious guards, toward a small building at the far end of the property. The office. Light inside. Voices. "Told you she'd be ready. Just had to wait for the right moment." "The right moment was 3 days ago, before that boy ran off with the other one." "That's being handled. My cousin, your cousin is useless. If he'd done his job, we wouldn't be having this conversation." Iron kicked the door in. 2 men inside. One in an expensive suit. Gray hair. Gold watch. The buyer. The other younger, harder, with cruel eyes and a gun on his hip, had to be Victor Monroe. Between them, tied to a chair, was a little girl. 5 years old. Blonde hair. Tears streaming down her face. "Sarah!" Victor went for his gun. Iron was faster. The shot caught Victor in the shoulder. He spun, crashed into the desk. His weapon skittered across the floor. The buyer raised his hands. "Wait, wait! You don't understand. I understand perfectly." Iron moved toward Sarah, cut the ropes binding her wrists. "It's okay, sweetheart. I'm going to take you somewhere safe." She looked up at him, terrified, trembling. "Are you a bad man?" "No, baby. I'm here to help." The other men said that too, before they put me in the cage. Iron's heart shattered. I know they did, but I'm different. I promise." He lifted her into his arms. She weighed almost nothing. Victor groaned from the floor. "You have no idea what you've done. No idea who you're dealing with." Iron looked down at him. "I'm dealing with a man who sells children. A man who keeps kids in cages. A man who just ran out of time." My cousin is the sheriff. You'll never get away with this. Never. Your cousin is next. Iron turned to the buyer, the man in the expensive suit, the man who'd come here to purchase a 5-year-old girl. Who are you? I'm nobody. You were just buying a child. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. Iron's fist connected with the man's face. He dropped like a stone. Hawk, Hawk. His VP appeared in the doorway, saw Sarah in Iron's arms, saw Victor on the floor. We got her. We got her. 17 kids, all accounted for. The trucks are ready. We need to move. Now. What about sirens? Distant but getting closer. We called it in, Hawk said. Anonymous tip to the FBI. They're on their way. And Monroe, the sheriff. My guess he heard about this somehow. He's coming. They ran. Through the compound, past the chaos, toward the vehicles waiting on the road. The children were already loaded. 16 terrified faces crammed into trucks, Doc doing his best to keep them calm. Iron handed Sarah to Hawk. Get her in. Get them all out of here. What about you? I'm right behind you. Iron, go. The trucks started moving. Iron turned back toward the property. Headlights, coming fast. Multiple vehicles. Sheriff's cruisers. 4 of them. They skidded to a stop at the gate. Doors flew open. Deputies piled out. Weapons drawn. And in front of them all, Sheriff Curtis Monroe. Freeze everyone on the ground now. Iron didn't move. Monroe walked forward, his face twisted with rage. You think you can come into my county, destroy everything I built? You have any idea? I have 17 ideas, 1 for each child you kept in cages. Those were runaways, troubled kids. We were helping them. You were selling them. You can't prove Victor's inside, alive, along with one of your buyers, and I'm guessing they'll have a lot to say when the FBI gets here. Monroe's face went pale. The FBI, anonymous tip, 15 minutes ago. Should be here any second. Monroe raised his weapon, pointed it at Iron's chest. Then I guess I better clean up before they arrive. You gonna shoot me, Sheriff, in front of all your deputies? I'm gonna shoot a dangerous criminal who resisted arrest after committing multiple felonies on private property. That's your story. That's the truth. Iron heard footsteps behind him. No, it's not. Darius. The boy stepped out of the shadows, recording light glowing on his phone. I've got everything, every word, going live right now. Monroe's gun swung toward Darius. Put that down. Shoot me and the whole world watches you murder a 12-year-old. Monroe's hand was shaking. You don't understand what you're doing, boy. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I spent 4 years in your cages. I know exactly what you are. More sirens. Different this time. Federal plates on the vehicles screaming down the road. FBI. Monroe's face crumbled. It's over, Darius said quietly. You're done. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then Monroe lowered his weapon. FBI agents swarmed the property. Monroe in handcuffs. His deputies, some protesting, some silent, some crying, detained for questioning. Iron watched them drag the sheriff away. Darius appeared at his side. I told you to stay in the truck. I know. You could have been killed. I know. If he'd pulled that trigger, he didn't. Iron looked at this boy, this 12-year-old who'd survived hell, who'd saved his sister, who'd just stared down a corrupt sheriff with nothing but a phone and the truth. That was either the bravest thing I've ever seen or the stupidest. My dad used to say there's no difference. Despite everything, despite the horror and the rage and the bone-deep exhaustion, Iron almost smiled. Your dad was a smart man, Yeah, he was. They stood there in silence, watching the chaos, watching the end of something terrible. Iron, yeah. The kids, the 17. What happens to them now? Iron thought about it. The foster system, the group homes, the endless cycle of trauma and neglect. I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out, and I'm going to make sure they're okay. All of them. How? I don't know that either, but I'll figure it out. Darius was quiet for a moment. Destiny's waiting for us. I know. She'll want to know everyone's safe. I know. Can we go home now? Home, the clubhouse, the place where 2 broken children had shown up in the middle of the night and changed everything. Yeah, Iron said. Let's go home. They walked toward the last remaining truck. Hawk was waiting. Engine running. You 2 done playing hero? For tonight. Good, because Rosa's been calling every 5 minutes. Destiny won't sleep until she sees you both. Iron climbed into the truck, Darius beside him. The property disappeared behind them. The sirens faded. The nightmare, at least this part of it, was over. But Iron knew it wasn't really over. 17 children needed homes. Families needed to be found. Wounds needed to heal. And somewhere Destiny's parents were still searching for a daughter they'd lost 4 years ago. Iron. Darius's voice was small, tired. Yeah, thank you. For what? For believing me. When I showed up at your gate. For not turning us away. Iron looked at the boy. At the scars he carried. At the weight in his eyes. Thank you for knocking. The truck rolled on through the Texas night, toward the clubhouse, toward Destiny, toward whatever came next. Behind them, 17 children were finally free, and ahead of them, a 6-year-old girl was waiting to hear that her family had come home. Rosa met them at the gate. She won't sleep. She keeps asking for Darius. For you. I tried everything. Where is she? Common room. She's been sitting at the window for hours. Iron pushed through the door. Destiny was exactly where Rosa said, curled up on the window seat, clutching her one-eyed doll, staring at the road. When she saw them, her whole body changed. She ran, slammed into Darius so hard she almost knocked him down. You came back! You came back! You came back! I told you I would. I know, but I was scared. I was so scared. I thought, I know, I'm sorry. I'm here now. She looked at Iron, those ancient eyes, searching. Did you find them? The other kids? We found them, all 17. Are they safe? They're safe. Are the bad men gone? Iron knelt down to her level. The bad men are gone, sweetheart. They're never going to hurt anyone again. Destiny stared at him for a long moment, processing, deciding whether to believe. Then she did something she hadn't done in 4 years. She let go of Darius, walked over to Iron, and wrapped her tiny arms around his neck. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for saving them. Iron held her, this broken little girl who'd somehow survived, who'd somehow kept hoping. You're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome. Over her shoulder, he saw Darius watching, tears streaming down his face. And Rosa, crying too. And Hawk, and Diesel, and all the brothers who'd ridden into hell tonight. All of them crying. Because sometimes, just sometimes, the good guys win. And tonight, they had won. Destiny pulled back, looked at Iron with those eyes. Will you stay? What do you mean? Will you stay with us, me and Darius? Will you be our family now? Iron felt something crack open in his chest. something that had been locked away for 15 years. "I'm not going anywhere," he said. "I promise." She nodded, satisfied. Then she yawned, the exhaustion finally catching up. "I'm tired." "I know, sweetheart. Let's get you to bed." He lifted her, carried her to the couch. Darius followed. Within minutes, both children were asleep. Destiny curled against Darius. Darius's arm wrapped protectively around her. Even in sleep, he was still protecting her. Rosa appeared with blankets, covered them gently. "What happens now?" she asked quietly. Iron watched the children sleep. "Now we rebuild. We find homes for those 17 kids. We find Destiny's parents. We make sure nothing like this ever happens again." "That's a lot." "Yeah, it is. You can't do it alone." "I know." Rosa touched his arm. "You won't have to." Iron looked at her. At this woman who'd dropped everything to help 2 children she'd never met. Who'd stayed through the chaos and the fear and the horror. "Thank you, Rosa." "Don't thank me yet. This is just the beginning." She was right. It was just the beginning. But for the first time in 15 years, Iron felt something he thought he'd lost forever. Hope. Real, honest hope. Because tonight, 17 children were free. Tonight, a corrupt sheriff was in handcuffs. Tonight, 2 broken kids were sleeping peacefully for the first time in years. And tomorrow, they'd figure out the rest. Together. 3 days passed. 3 days of FBI interviews. 3 days of social workers and doctors and endless questions. 3 days of children slowly learning what it meant to be free. Iron hadn't slept more than 2 hours at a stretch. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw those cages, those faces, those eyes that had given up hope. The clubhouse had transformed. What was once a space for bikes and brotherhood now housed blankets, toys, children's books. Word had spread about what the Hells Angels had done. Donations poured in from everywhere. People wanted to help. People wanted to be part of something good. Rosa practically lived there now. She'd taken leave from the hospital, said it was temporary. Iron knew better. Darius was recovering. Physically, at least. The bruises were fading. The gash on his forehead was healing. But there was something in his eyes that worried Iron. A darkness that hadn't been there before. "He's not sleeping," Rosa told Iron on the 3rd morning. "Every time he drifts off, he wakes up screaming. Nightmares. He won't talk about them." "Where is he now?" "Same place he's been every night. Window seat, watching the road." Iron found Darius exactly where Rosa said, sitting in the chair by the front window, staring at the darkness like he was waiting for something. "You're going to make yourself sick." "I'm fine." "You keep saying that. It keeps not being true." Darius didn't respond. Iron pulled up a chair, sat beside him. For a while, neither of them spoke. "They're going to come," Darius finally said. "Who? The people above Monroe. The ones who paid him. The ones who ran the whole thing." "The FBI is handling it." "The FBI doesn't know what they're dealing with." Darius turned to look at Iron. His eyes were hollow. Haunted. This wasn't just Monroe's operation. It was a network. Dozens of locations. Hundreds of kids. We only exposed one piece of it. Then we exposed one piece. That's something. It's not enough. They don't let witnesses survive. Ever. Iron felt a chill run down his spine. "You're safe here." "Nowhere is safe. Not from them." "Then we'll make it safe." His phone rang. "Spectre. Talk to me. We have a problem. A big one." "What kind of problem?" 3 of the kids we rescued. They're missing from the hospital. Iron was on his feet before Spectre finished. What do you mean, missing? Their beds are empty. No sign of them. Security footage shows nothing. That's impossible. That's what I said. Unless someone knew exactly where the cameras were. Unless someone had inside help. Darius was watching Iron's face, reading every expression. Which kids? Iron asked. Tyler, the redhead, a girl named Sophie, and a boy named Danny, 6 years old. 6 years old. Gone. I'm on my way. Iron, there's more. There's always more. I've been digging into the network Darius mentioned. He's right. This thing is massive. International connections. Political protection. What are you saying? I'm saying one of the names that keeps coming up is Senator Richard Whitfield. Iron's blood went cold. A senator. He's been blocking federal investigations into child trafficking for years, and according to financial records, he was one of the biggest buyers from the Monroe operation. Can you prove it? I'm working on it, but Iron, if this goes where I think it goes, we're not just fighting criminals anymore. We're fighting the system. Then we fight the system. He hung up, turned to Darius. 3 kids are missing. Tyler is one of them. The color drained from Darius's face. No, that's not possible. We saved him. We got him out. They took him back. Then we get him again. Darius was already moving toward the door. Where are they? Where did they take them? We don't know yet. Then find out. His voice cracked. He's 10 years old. He trusted me. He trusted us. We can't let them. We won't. Iron grabbed the boy's shoulders, looked him in the eyes. We will not let them hurt those kids. I promise you. You can't promise that. You couldn't promise it before. Watch me. Hawk burst through the front door. Iron, we've got company. FBI. Worse. News vans. 6 of them. Someone leaked the story. Iron's jaw tightened. Media meant questions. Questions meant scrutiny. Scrutiny meant the people behind this would know exactly where to find them. Get everyone inside. Lock the gates. No one talks to reporters. It gets worse. How? One of the vans has a live broadcast. They're already on air. Iron pushed past Hawk, walked to the window. Sure enough. News trucks lined the road, cameras pointed at the gate, reporters speaking into microphones. And then he saw something that made his blood run cold. A black SUV, parked across the street. Tinted windows. No logos. No markings. Watching. Hawk. See that SUV? Yeah. Get the plate number. Send it to Spectre. You think it's them? I think we just became the most visible target in the country. Destiny appeared at Iron's side. She'd gotten stronger over the past 3 days. Still too thin. Still too pale. But there was a spark in her eyes now. Something bad is happening. It wasn't a question. We're handling it. Tyler's gone. Isn't he and Sophie and Danny? Iron looked down at her. How did you know? I could feel it. When I woke up this morning, something felt wrong. Empty. She touched her chest. In here. We're going to find them. I know, but you need help. Help from who? Destiny looked toward the back room where Darius was pacing like a caged animal. From him. He knows things. Things he hasn't told you yet. What kind of things? Ask him about the mountain. He'll know what you mean. The mountain. Iron had never heard the term before, but the way Destiny said it with fear and certainty mixed together made his skin crawl. He found Darius still pacing, hands shaking, breathing too fast. I need to ask you something. What? The mountain, what is it? Darius stopped moving. His entire body went rigid. Where did you hear that name? Destiny told me. Destiny? Darius's face twisted. She shouldn't know about that. No one should know about that. But you do. Silence, long and heavy. The mountain is where they take kids who are too much trouble, kids who try to escape, kids who know too much. His voice dropped. It's a facility, somewhere in Colorado, the Rockies. I don't know exactly where. No one who goes there ever comes back. You think that's where they took Tyler? I think that's where they take everyone they want to disappear. How do we find it? You don't. That's the whole point. It's invisible. Off the grid. Spectre can find anything. Not this, trust me. People have tried. Iron's phone buzzed. Text from Spectre. SUV is registered to a shell company, same company that funded Monroe's operation. They're watching you. He typed back, Can you trace the shell company? Already trying. It's layers on layers. Someone with serious resources set this up. Keep digging. And find out everything you can about something called the mountain. The what? Just do it. He put the phone away, looked at Darius. If you had to guess just a guess, where would this mountain be? Darius shook his head. I told you, I don't know. But you've heard things, fragments, details. Think. The boy was quiet for a long moment. Cold, he finally said. One of the guards complained about being stationed there, said it was freezing even in summer, and he mentioned something about mining, old mining tunnels. Mining tunnels in the Rockies, that's something. It's nothing. There are thousands of old mines in those mountains, but only a few that would have the infrastructure to house a facility. Darius looked at him. You're really going to try to find it. I'm going to do more than try. Why those kids aren't your responsibility. None of this is. Iron thought about the question. Really thought about it. Because someone has to be responsible. Because if people like me don't fight, people like them win. He paused. And because my daughter died 15 years ago, I couldn't save her. I couldn't fight the cancer that took her. But I can fight this. I can save these kids. Darius was quiet. There's something else, he said finally. Something I didn't tell you before. What? The guard who talked about the mountain. He had a tattoo on his wrist, a symbol I'd never seen before. Looked like a serpent eating its own tail. An Ouroboros. You know it. It's ancient, symbol of infinity, eternal return. Iron's mind was racing. It's also used by certain organizations, certain cults. You think this is a cult? I think it's something worse, a network of people who believe they're above the law, above morality, above everything. His phone rang. Spectre again. Tell me you found something. I found something, but you're not going to like it. I haven't liked anything about this situation since it started. The Ouroboros symbol Darius described. It's used by a group called the Circle. Old money, very connected, very secret. And Senator Whitfield is a member, along with a dozen other politicians, several CEOs. And Spectre hesitated. And who? Judge William Crawford, the federal judge who was supposed to oversee Monroe's case. The judge overseeing Monroe's case was part of the same organization. You're saying the whole system is compromised. I'm saying we need to be very careful who we trust right now. Iron hung up, felt the walls closing in. The judge, the senator, the network. They were everywhere. They controlled everything. And they had just taken 3 more children. Hawk, his VP appeared instantly. What's happening? Call church, emergency meeting. Everyone, now. Another raid. Bigger, much bigger. We don't have enough intel. We don't have a choice. Those 3 kids are running out of time. Rosa appeared in the doorway. Her face was pale. Iron, you need to come see this. Now. She led him to the back room, to the small TV mounted on the wall. A news broadcast. Live. Senator Richard Whitfield standing at a podium, microphones everywhere, cameras flashing, and deeply concerned about the vigilante actions taken by certain criminal organizations in Texas. While we all want to protect children, we cannot allow dangerous motorcycle gangs to take the law into their own hands. He's framing us, Hawk said. Son of a bitch is framing us. Calling for a full investigation into the Hells Angels chapter responsible for this reckless assault on a legitimate care facility. Care facility. Diesel's voice was pure rage. He's calling that hellhole a care facility. The children who were rescued are now in protective custody receiving the care they need from trained professionals. Iron's blood turned to ice. Protective custody. That's where the 3 missing kids were. In the hands of the very people who'd put them in cages. Darius was standing behind him, watching. His face had gone completely white. They're not going to stop, he whispered. They're going to take all of them back. Every single one. No, they're not. How can you? Because I won't let them. Iron turned to face his brothers. 18 men. All of them watching him. Waiting. Listen to me. All of you. What we're about to do is going to be the most dangerous thing any of us have ever done. We're not just fighting criminals anymore. We're fighting senators, judges, people with power we can't imagine. He paused. Anyone who wants to walk away, no judgment. This isn't club business. This is war. Silence. Then Diesel stepped forward. I'm in. Hawk next. In. Doc. In. One by one, every man in that room nodded. Iron felt something swell in his chest. Pride. Gratitude. Love. All right, here's what we know. The Circle is holding those 3 kids somewhere they call the Mountain. It's a facility in the Rockies, old mining tunnels, heavy security, off every grid. How do we find it? Spectre's working on it. In the meantime, we need to hit them where it hurts. Financial records, shell companies, anyone connected to this network. We expose them, all of them. And if they come for us first, Iron's expression didn't change. Then we'll be ready. Darius's voice cut through. I'm coming with you. Every head turned. Absolutely not. I know those facilities better than anyone. I know how they think, how they operate. You're 12 years old. I survived 4 years in their cages. I got Destiny out when no one else could. I stared down Sheriff Monroe with nothing but a phone. His voice hardened. I'm not sitting here while you try to save those kids blind. Iron stared at the boy, at the determination in his eyes, at the scars that told stories no child should know. You stay with me. You do exactly what I say, no exceptions. Understood. And Darius, yeah. If I tell you to run, you run. No arguments, no heroics, you run. Darius met his eyes. I'll run. Promise me. I promise. Destiny appeared in the doorway, that ragged doll still clutched in her arms. She walked over to Iron, looked up at him with those ancient eyes. You're going to save them. I'm going to try. You will. I know you will. She reached up, touched the locket around his neck. She's helping you. Your angel. She's showing you the way. Iron couldn't speak. His throat had closed. Bring them home, Destiny whispered. Bring them all home, and then come back to us. He knelt down, pulled her into a hug, I will, sweetheart. I promise. She held on tight, then let go. Go, she said. They're waiting for you. Iron stood, looked at Rosa. Take care of her. With my life. Lock the doors. Don't open them for anyone except us. I know the drill. He turned to his brothers. 18 men. Ready to ride. Ready to fight. Ready to die if necessary. Let's go save some kids. They moved toward the door. Spectre's call came through just as they reached the bikes. I found it. The mountain. Abandoned mining facility. Pike National Forest, Colorado. Purchased 8 years ago by a shell company connected to the Circle. How do we get in? That's the problem. One access road, heavily monitored, armed guards, cameras everywhere. There has to be another way. There might be. The original mining surveys show ventilation shafts. They're old, probably partially collapsed. But if some of them are still intact, we go through the vents. It's risky. We don't know what condition they're in. We don't know where they lead. Do we have a better option? Pause. No. Then that's the plan. Send me the coordinates. Iron. One more thing. What? I traced the financial records. The Circle isn't just trafficking children. They're using them for something else. Something bigger. What do you mean? I don't know yet. But whatever it is, it's connected to people at the highest levels of government. This goes deeper than we thought. How deep? Deep enough that if we expose it, we might bring down half of Washington. Iron looked at his brothers, at Darius, at the clubhouse behind him, where destiny was waiting. Then we bring down half of Washington. He hung up, climbed onto his bike. The engine roared to life. 18 motorcycles, heading toward Colorado, toward the mountain, toward 3 children who were running out of time, and toward a fight that would change everything. 12 hours of riding. 12 hours through empty highways and forgotten roads. 12 hours of cold wind and colder fear. Iron led the pack into Colorado as the sun began to set. The mountains rose ahead of them like giants sleeping under snow. Somewhere in those peaks, 3 children were waiting. Tyler, Sophie, Danny. He wouldn't let himself forget their names. They killed their engines at the coordinates Spectre had provided. A dirt road disappeared into dense forest. No signs, no markers. Nothing to indicate that anything existed beyond the trees. That was the point. This is it. Diesel looked around. There's nothing here. That's what they want you to think. Iron pulled out his phone. Spectre's map showed the ventilation shaft entrance half a mile north. The main facility was another mile beyond that. Underground. Hidden. Invisible. Hawk, take Doc and 4 others. Find the shaft entrance. Get inside, work your way toward the holding area. How will we know where it is? Follow the screams. Nobody laughed. The rest of you with me. We're going through the front. The front, Diesel's voice cracked. You said it was suicide to go in loud. It was. Last time. This time they're expecting us to be smart, to be careful, to sneak in quiet. Iron smiled. It wasn't pleasant. They're not expecting us to be crazy. Darius stepped forward. I'm going with you. No, you're going with Hawk's team, through the vents. But you know these facilities. You know how they're laid out. You can guide them to the kids faster than anyone. Darius wanted to argue. Iron could see it in his eyes. But the logic was sound. Fine. But if anything happens to you, nothing's going to happen to me. You can't promise that. I can promise I'll fight like hell to get back. That's the best any of us can do. Darius held his gaze for a long moment, then nodded. Don't die. Wasn't planning on it. They split up. Hawk's team disappeared into the forest. Iron led the rest toward the access road. It took 20 minutes to reach the gate. 2 guards, armed, alert, not like the lazy idiots at Monroe's ranch. These men were professionals. Iron didn't slow down. Hey, stop! This is private property. He kept walking. One guard raised his rifle. I said stop. Iron stopped. 10 feet away. I'm looking for 3 children. Tyler, Sophie, Danny. They were taken from a hospital in Texas 2 days ago. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. Sir, you need to leave now, or we will use force. Iron looked at the guard. Young. Maybe 25. Nervous. You ever think about what you're guarding here? I don't get paid to think. You get paid to keep children locked in cages. The guard's face flickered. Just for a second. Doubt. I don't know anything about... Yes, you do. You know exactly what happens in that mountain. You hear the screams at night. You see the kids they bring in. You watch them disappear. Shut up. How do you sleep? How do you look in the mirror? I said, shut up. The guard's hands were shaking now. His partner looked equally unsteady. You have a choice right now. You can let us pass. You can walk away. You can pretend you never saw us. Or... Iron moved so fast neither guard had time to react. One went down with a pressure point to the neck. The other took a fist to the jaw before he could fire a shot. Or you can take a nap. Diesel let out a breath. Damn, old man. Less talking. More moving. They advanced. The facility entrance was exactly where Spectre said. A reinforced steel door built into the mountainside. Keypad lock. Security camera overhead. Iron looked directly into the camera. I know you're watching. I know you know who I am. I'm giving you one chance. Release those children. Walk away. This ends peacefully. Nothing. Or I'm coming in. And I'm not leaving until every single one of those kids is free. Silence. Then a voice, crackling through a speaker beside the door. Mr. Walker, we've been expecting you. Iron's jaw tightened. You know my name. We know everything about you. Your military service, your criminal record, your daughter Amelia. Ice shot through Iron's veins. Don't say her name. Leukemia. 9 years old. Tragic. I understand you never fully recovered. I said don't say her name. Is that what this is about? Some misguided attempt at redemption, saving children you couldn't save before. Open the door. I'm afraid I can't do that, but I can offer you something else. A choice. I'm listening. Walk away. Right now. Take your men and go back to Texas. Forget any of this ever happened. In exchange, we'll release the 3 children you're looking for. No harm done. Everyone goes home. Iron hesitated. 3 children. Free. Safe. All he had to do was walk away. And the others? What others? The other children in there. The ones you've been collecting for years. The ones you're using for whatever sick purpose you've designed. Silence. How many... Iron's voice was raw. How many children are in that mountain right now? The voice hesitated for the first time. That's not relevant to our discussion. How many? Pause. 47. Diesel made a choking sound behind him. 47 children. In one facility. Being used for God knows what. The deal's changed, Iron said. You release all 47. Then maybe I let you live. Laughter. Cold. Empty. You're in no position to negotiate, Mr. Walker. You're standing outside a fortified facility with a handful of motorcycle enthusiasts. We have 50 armed guards, military-grade weapons, a senator and a federal judge on speed dial. You have scared men hiding behind walls. We have power you can't comprehend. I don't need to comprehend it. I just need to destroy it. How exactly do you plan to do that? Iron smiled. You're about to find out. He pulled out his phone, hit send on a pre-typed message. Deep inside the mountain, Hawk's team had reached the ventilation shaft. His phone buzzed. Now. Move, Hawk ordered. Fast and loud. They burst from the shaft into a maintenance corridor. 2 guards at the far end turned in shock. Hawk fired before they could raise their weapons. Non-lethal shots, shoulders and legs. They went down screaming. Which way? Doc asked. Darius closed his eyes, remembering the layout of Monroe's facility. The way these places were always designed, control in the center, cells radiating outward, maximum surveillance, minimum escape. Left, then down. The holding area will be on the lowest level. They moved. Outside, the steel door began to open. Armed men poured out. 6, 8, 10. Iron didn't retreat. Open fire! Shots rang out. Iron dove behind a concrete barrier. His brothers scattered returning fire. Diesel flank left. On it. Doc suppressing fire. The air exploded with gunshots, screams, chaos. Iron counted the guards. 12 now, more coming. They were outnumbered, outgunned, but they weren't outfought. He moved, low and fast, using the chaos as cover, reached the first guard, took him down, grabbed his rifle. Better. Hawk, he shouted into his radio. Status, static. Then Hawk's voice. Strained. We're in heavy resistance. Darius is leading us to the holding area. How many guards? Too many. We need backup. Hold on. We're coming. Iron fought his way toward the entrance. 2 more guards down. 3. Then he heard it. Children screaming, not from inside the mountain, from somewhere else, above him. He looked up. A helicopter, rising from behind the facility, taking off. And in the window, 3 small faces pressed against the glass. Tyler, Sophie, Danny. No! He ran. But the helicopter was already climbing, already pulling away, already disappearing into the darkening sky. Darius, they're taking the kids, the helicopter. Static. Darius. His radio crackled to life. But it wasn't Darius. Mr. Walker. That same cold voice. I told you that you were in no position to negotiate. Those 3 children are now in transit to a facility you'll never find. They'll be processed, repurposed, and sold within the week. Iron's blood turned to fire. I will find you, wherever you go. Whatever hole you crawl into, I will find you and I will... Goodbye, Mr. Walker. I hope the 47 remaining children provide some consolation. The line went dead. Iron stood frozen, watching the helicopter disappear into the clouds. 3 children. Gone. He'd promised to save them. Promised Darius. Promised destiny. He'd failed. Iron, Hawk's voice, in his ear, urgent. Iron, respond. He forced himself to move, to think, to function. I'm here. We found them. The holding area 47 kids, just like they said. But there's a problem. What problem? They've rigged the place. Explosives. The whole facility is wired to blow. How much time? The timer says 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 47 children. One way out. Iron ran. Through the entrance. Past fallen guards. Down corridors he didn't know. Following the sounds of chaos. Of fighting. Of children crying. He found Hawk's team in a massive underground chamber. Cells lining the walls. Children everywhere. Terrified. Confused. And in the center of the room, a metal box with a digital display. 1423, 1422, 1421. Can you disarm it? Hawk shook his head. It's rigged. Any tampering triggers immediate detonation. Then we get everyone out, now. They moved. Cutting locks, breaking chains, lifting children who couldn't walk, carrying those who couldn't move. Go, go, go! Darius was everywhere, calming the kids, guiding them toward the exit, speaking to them in a voice that said he understood, that he'd been where they were, that he knew the fear. It's okay. We're getting you out. You're going to be safe. I promise. 10:47, 10:46, 10:45. Move faster. More children flooding toward the exit. 20, 30, 40. Iron grabbed a girl, maybe 4 years old, frozen with fear. Wouldn't move. Sweetheart, I need you to come with me, right now. I'm scared. I know. I'm scared too. But we have to go. Can you be brave for me? She looked at him, those eyes, so much like Amelia's. Will you carry me? Of course I will. He lifted her. Chapter 33, 6-32, 6:31. The corridors blurred. His lungs burned. His legs screamed. But he didn't stop. The exit appeared ahead. Daylight. Freedom. Everyone out now. Children poured from the mountain, stumbling, crying, alive. Darius emerged last, carrying a boy on his back, maybe 5 years old, unconscious. Is that everyone? Iron shouted. I think so. I couldn't. Darius stopped. His face went white. Sophie. She wasn't in the cells. What? I counted 46. Sophie wasn't there. Tyler and Danny were on the helicopter, but Sophie, she's still inside. She has to be. They must have kept her somewhere separate. 217, 216, 215. Iron looked at the mountain, at the timer, at Darius. Get these kids clear. As far as you can. Now. Iron, do it. He ran back inside. The corridors were empty now. Silent except for his footsteps and his ragged breathing. Sophie. Sophie, can you hear me? Nothing. 1-34, 133, 132. Sophie. A sound. Faint. To his right. He followed it. Through a door marked private. Down a hallway. To a small room at the end. And there she was. Sophie. 8 years old. Red hair. Freckles hidden under dirt. Chained to a pipe. Her eyes went wide when she saw him. Please, please help me. I'm here, sweetheart. I'm going to get you out. The chain was thick, industrial. The lock rusted but solid. 047, 046, 045. Iron searched frantically. There, a fire extinguisher on the wall. He grabbed it, swung at the chain. Once, twice. The chain held. 031, 030, 029. Again, harder, his shoulders screaming. Crack! The chain broke. Iron grabbed Sophie, lifted her. Ran. 018, 017, 016. The exit was too far. He'd never make it. 012, 011. He ran anyway, 008, 007. The daylight grew closer, 004, 003. He threw Sophie forward, through the entrance, into Darius's waiting arms. 001. The explosion lifted Iron off his feet, threw him 20 yards, slammed him into the ground. Everything went white, then black, then nothing. Iron, Darius's voice, far away, echoing. Iron, wake up! Pain. Everywhere, like his entire body was on fire. Please, please, wake up! He forced his eyes open. Darius was kneeling over him. Sophie clutched against his chest, both of them crying. You're alive! Oh God, you're alive! Iron tried to speak, coughed, tasted blood. The kids, they're safe, all 47. Sophie makes 48. Tyler. Danny. Darius's face fell. The helicopter. They got away. Iron closed his eyes. 2 children. Still out there. Still in danger. He'd saved 48. Lost 2. Was that victory or failure? Help me up. You need medical attention. Help me up. Darius grabbed his arm. Pulled. Iron screamed as his body protested. Something was broken. Maybe several somethings. But he stood. Behind him, the mountain was gone. Collapsed into rubble. Flames still licking at the edges. The Circle's facility destroyed. 48 children free. But 2 were still missing. And the people who took them were still out there. Spectre, Iron said into his radio. Track that helicopter. Already on it. They're heading north, toward Canada. Can you intercept? I've contacted FBI, real FBI, people we can trust. They're scrambling jets now. Will they make it in time? Pause. I don't know. Iron looked at the children huddled together. Scared, traumatized, but alive. He looked at Sophie in Darius's arms, at the tears streaming down her face. He looked at the rubble that used to be a prison for innocents. Then we pray, he said quietly, and we wait. Hawk appeared beside him, bleeding from a gash on his forehead, but alive. Hell of a day. Yeah, you think we got them, the Circle? We got one piece, the mountain. But they're bigger than this, deeper than this. So what do we do? Iron watched the smoke rise from the ruins. We go home. We take care of these kids. We heal. He paused. And then we finish what we started. Hawk nodded slowly. The senator. The judge. Everyone connected. Everyone. That's going to take years. Then it takes years. Darius walked over. Sophie was still crying against his shoulder, but her sobs were quieter now. She wants to know if you're the one who saved her. Iron looked at the little girl, those terrified eyes, that fragile hope. Tell her we all saved her, and we're going to keep her safe. Forever. Darius translated. Sophie looked at Iron, then slowly she reached out her hand. Iron took it. Small fingers wrapped around his. Thank you, she whispered. 2 words, but they meant everything. You're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome. His phone buzzed. Spectre. The FBI intercepted the helicopter. Tyler and Danny are safe. They're being transported to a secure location now. Iron's legs nearly gave out. Say that again. They got them. Both kids. Safe and sound. He looked at Darius, at the hope flooding back into that young face. They're safe. Tyler and Danny. The FBI got them. Darius made a sound that was half laugh, half sob. They're okay. They're okay. Sophie lifted her head. Tyler? My friend Tyler. Yes, sweetheart. Your friend Tyler. He's safe, too. She smiled. The first smile Iron had seen on her face. And somehow, despite everything, the pain, the exhaustion, the fear, that smile made it all worth it. 50 children saved, 1 facility destroyed, and somewhere out there a network of monsters was running scared. Iron looked at the mountains, at the setting sun painting the peaks in gold. Let's go home. The ride back to Texas took 18 hours. 18 hours of convoy trucks carrying 50 children to freedom. 18 hours of Iron fighting to stay conscious, while Rosa worked on his injuries from the passenger seat. 18 hours of Darius refusing to sleep, watching over the kids like a hawk guarding its nest. 3 broken ribs, a fractured collarbone, second-degree burns across his back. That's what the explosion had cost Iron. Worth it. Every damn bit of it. They reached the clubhouse at dawn. Destiny was waiting at the gate. She stood alone, that ragged doll clutched against her chest, watching the convoy approach, with eyes that held more hope than fear. When she saw Iron climb out of the truck, she ran. You came back. You came back. Iron caught her, ignored the pain screaming through his ribs. I promised I would. I knew you would. I told Rosa. I told everyone. He'll come back. He always comes back. She pulled away, looked at him, saw the bandages, the bruises, the way he held himself like everything hurt. You're hurt. I'm fine. You're lying. Iron almost smiled. Yeah, I'm lying, but I'm alive. That's what matters. Destiny looked past him, at the trucks, at the children being helped out one by one. How many? 50, including Tyler, Sophie, and Danny. Her eyes went wide. 50. She was crying now, tears streaming down her face. But she was smiling too. You saved them. You saved them all. We saved them. All of us. Together. Darius appeared behind them, Tyler at his side. The 2 boys who'd survived hell together finally reunited for good. Destiny broke away from Iron, threw herself at Tyler. You're okay. You're okay. I'm okay, I promise. I'm okay. The 3 of them held each other, crying, laughing, alive. Iron watched. Rosa appeared at his side. You look like death. Feel like it too. Hospital, now. No arguments. The kids are being handled. FBI is sending teams. Social workers are on their way. You did your part. Now let someone else do theirs. Iron wanted to argue, but his body wouldn't let him. His legs buckled. Rosa caught him before he hit the ground. Hawk, help me get him in the car. Everything after that blurred. Sirens, bright lights, voices asking questions he couldn't answer. Then darkness. He woke up 3 days later. Hospital room. Monitors beeping. Rosa asleep in a chair beside his bed. Hey. His voice came out like gravel. Rosa's eyes snapped open. You're awake. How long? 3 days. You had surgery, twice. Your lung collapsed. Doctor said it was a miracle you survived that explosion. The kids, all accounted for. FBI has them in protective custody. Real protective custody this time. Senator Whitfield was arrested yesterday. So was Judge Crawford. Spector's evidence was airtight. Iron let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. And Destiny Darius. Here. Both of them. They've been taking shifts, sitting outside your room. Wouldn't leave. I had to threaten them with force feeding to get them to eat. Despite everything, Iron laughed, then winced. Don't do that. Your ribs. Too late. The door opened. Darius walked in. Stopped when he saw Iron's eyes open. You're awake. So they tell me. Darius moved to the bedside. Something was different about him. The darkness that had lived in his eyes since the night they met, it was still there, but fainter now, softer. Thank you. For what? For keeping your promise, for coming back. I told you I would. I know, but nobody's ever kept a promise to me before, not until you. Iron reached out, took the boy's hand. Get used to it, kid. You're stuck with me now. Darius tried to smile, couldn't quite manage it, but his grip on Iron's hand tightened. There's something I need to tell you. What? Spectre found something about my mother. Iron's chest tightened. Your mother. She didn't abandon me, not the way I thought. Darius sat down on the edge of the bed. His voice was distant. Careful. She was an addict. You knew that. But what I didn't know, what I never knew, was that she tried to get help. A month before I was taken, she checked herself into rehab. She was getting clean. What happened? She spent 6 months fighting. And she won. She got sober. And the first thing she did, the very first thing, was go looking for me. Iron felt something crack in his chest. She looked for me for 2 years. Private investigators, police, news stations. She spent every penny she had, and when the money ran out, she worked 3 jobs and kept looking. Darius, she never gave up, not once, not ever. She died believing I was gone forever. But she never stopped trying to find me. The boy's voice broke. She died 8 months ago. Cancer. But Spectre found her medical records. In her last week, she saw the news about the raid on Monroe's ranch, about the children being rescued. Darius looked up, tears streaming. She saw my face, Iron. She knew I was alive. She knew I was safe. She died knowing I made it out. Iron couldn't speak. His throat had closed completely. She wrote me a letter, in her last days. The hospital had it. Darius pulled a worn envelope from his pocket. Old, creased, addressed in shaky handwriting. To my son Marcus. Wherever you are. I read it last night, for the first time. What did it say? Darius was quiet for a long moment. She said she was sorry. For the addiction. For not being strong enough to protect me. For every day I spent alone. He paused. And she said she was proud of me. That even though she wasn't there, she just knew that I'd become something good, something brave, something that mattered. Iron reached out, pulled the boy into his arms, held him while he cried. She was right, Iron whispered. She was so right. I miss her. I didn't think I would. I was so angry for so long. But now you can let that go. Now you can remember her the way she deserved to be remembered. Darius pulled back, wiped his eyes. I'm going to finish what we started. When I'm old enough, I'm coming back. I'm going to work with the program, save kids like me, like Destiny, like all of them. What program? Darius smiled. Actually smiled. The one you're going to build. Rosa told me. You're starting something. A network. Safe houses. Rescue operations. Everything those kids need. Iron looked at Rosa. She shrugged. You talk in your sleep, especially after surgery. I was drugged. You were honest. First time in years, probably. Iron shook his head, but he didn't deny it. Because she was right. Somewhere in the haze of pain and medication, he'd seen it. What came next? What all of this was building toward. Not just one rescue, not just 50 children. Something bigger, something permanent, something that would outlast him. The Guardian Program, he said quietly. That's what we'll call it. Darius nodded. I like it. It's going to take years to build, resources we don't have, connections we haven't made. So we start now. Today. With what we have. Iron looked at this boy. This 12-year-old who'd survived 4 years of hell. Who'd carried his sister 50 miles through the desert. Who'd stared down a corrupt sheriff with nothing but a phone and the truth. You're something else, you know, that I learned from you. The door opened again. Destiny walked in. Saw Iron awake. Saw Darius crying. Her face crumpled. Is something wrong? Is he... He's fine, Darius said quickly. We're both fine. We were just talking. Destiny approached the bed slowly, climbed up beside Iron, careful not to touch his bandages. You scared me. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Don't do it again. I'll try. Promise me. Iron hesitated. He couldn't promise that. Not honestly. Not with what was coming. I promise I'll always come back to you, no matter what. Destiny studied his face, deciding whether to accept that. Okay, she finally said. But if you break that promise, I'll be really, really mad. I believe you. She curled up against his side, carefully, like he was made of glass. Rosa says there are people coming, to talk about my parents. Iron's heart skips. Your parents, my real ones, the ones I don't remember. Rosa says they found them. Iron looked at Rosa. She nodded. Spectre traced her intake file from Monroe's operation. Her parents are David and Marie Johnson. They live in Louisiana. They've been looking for her since she was taken. Looking for me? Destiny's voice was small. Uncertain. For 4 years. Every single day. They never stopped. They never gave up. But I don't remember them. What if they don't want me anymore? What if I'm not the daughter they remember? Iron pulled her closer. Listen to me. I talked to your mother last night on the phone. Destiny's eyes went wide. You did? I did. And you know what the first thing she asked was? What? She asked if you were okay, if you were safe, if you were happy. She didn't ask if I remembered her. No, sweetheart. She just wanted to know that you were alive, that you were protected, that you were loved. Tears spilled down Destiny's cheeks. She still wants me. She never stopped wanting you, not for a single second. Destiny was quiet for a long moment. Then, what about Darius? If I go with them, what happens to Darius? Iron looked at the boy, at the fear flickering behind his eyes. Your parents want him too. Both children froze. What? Darius's voice cracked. I told them about you, about how you protected Destiny, about how you carried her 50 miles through the desert, about everything you sacrificed. Iron paused. And your mother Marie, she said you're a package deal. Both of you. Together. Darius opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. She doesn't even know me. She knows what matters. She knows you saved her daughter. She knows you loved her when nobody else would. That makes you family. Family, Destiny whispered. Real family. Real family. She looked at Darius. He looked at her. And then they were both crying, holding each other. 2 broken children finally finding what they'd lost. A home. Rosa was crying too, trying to hide it, failing completely. When are they coming? Destiny asked. Tomorrow morning. They're flying in tonight. Tomorrow. Destiny looked at Iron. Those ancient eyes. That fragile hope. Will you be there when they come? Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Promise. Promise. She nestled against him, exhausted, overwhelmed, happy. Within minutes, she was asleep. Darius sat on the other side of the bed, still processing, still trying to believe. This is real, he said quietly. This is actually happening. It's real. I never thought. His voice broke. I never let myself hope. Hope was dangerous in that place. Hope got you killed. It's not dangerous anymore. You're allowed to hope now. You're allowed to believe things can be good. Darius looked at his hands, at the scars that would never fully fade. What do I do now? How do I be normal after everything? You don't. The boy looked up. You don't try to be normal. You can't go back to who you were before. But you can become someone new, someone who carries what happened, but doesn't let it define you. How do you know? Iron touched the locket around his neck. Amelia's picture inside. Because I'm still figuring it out myself, every day, one step at a time. Does it get easier? Some days. Other days it's harder than you can imagine. But you keep going. You keep fighting. You keep choosing to live. Why? Because the alternative is letting them win, and I refuse to let them win. Darius nodded slowly, understanding settling into his bones. Thank you, Iron, for everything. Thank you for knocking on my door. I almost didn't. But you did. That's what matters. You were brave enough to hope, brave enough to ask for help. That's what saved you. That's what saved her. He looked at Destiny sleeping peacefully for maybe the first time in years. That's what's going to save a lot more kids like you. The next morning came faster than expected. Iron discharged himself against medical advice. Rosa threatened him with everything from divorce to murder. He went anyway. He wasn't going to miss this. The Johnsons arrived at 9 a.m. sharp. David and Marie, late 30s, worn around the edges. The look of parents who'd spent 4 years in hell. Marie broke first. The moment she saw Destiny, really saw her, she made a sound that wasn't human. The sound of a mother's heart shattering and rebuilding at the same time. Destiny. Oh God. Oh my baby. Destiny stood frozen, scared, hopeful, uncertain. Marie dropped to her knees, didn't reach out, didn't grab, just knelt there, tears streaming. It's Mama, baby. I'm here. I'm finally here. Destiny's lip trembled. I'm sorry I forgot you. No, sweetheart. You have nothing to be sorry for. Nothing. You survived. You're here. That's all that matters. I tried to remember. I tried so hard. Shh. We're going to make new memories. We have so much time now. So much time. Destiny took a step forward. Then another. And then she was in her mother's arms. Marie held her like she'd never let go. David wrapped them both up, crying, laughing, crying again. 4 years of separation. 4 years of not knowing. Ended in a single embrace. Darius stood off to the side, watching, his face carefully blank. But Iron could see the fear underneath. Marie looked up. Her eyes found him. You're Darius. He nodded. Couldn't speak. She held out her hand. Come here, please. He hesitated. Please. Slowly, he walked toward them. Marie reached up and took his hand. Thank you. Thank you for protecting my daughter. Thank you for loving her when we couldn't. Thank you for being her brother. Darius's mask cracked. A tear escaped. She protected me too. When things got bad, she would hold my hand through the bars. She kept me alive as much as I kept her alive. Marie pulled him into the embrace. 4 people now. A family being born from ashes. Iron watched from the doorway. Rosa beside him. "That's beautiful," she whispered. "Yeah. You did that. You made that happen." We all did. Rosa took his hand. He didn't pull away. "What now?" she asked. Iron looked at the family, at the children who'd been saved, at the work that still needed to be done. "Now we build something that lasts, something that makes sure no child ever goes through what they went through." "That's a big goal." "It's the right one." Rosa squeezed his hand. "I'm in." "You sure this is going to take everything we have?" "I'm sure." Destiny broke away from her parents, ran to Iron. "You're coming to visit, right? You promised." "I promised. And Rosa, and Hawk, and everyone. She hugged him, those tiny arms wrapped around his waist. "Thank you, Grandpa Iron." Grandpa. The word hit him like a physical blow. No one had ever called him that. No one ever would have if things had gone differently. "You're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome." She pulled back, looked at him with those eyes, ancient and young, broken and healed. "She's proud of you," Destiny said quietly. "Who? Your angel, Amelia. She's been watching. She's so proud of what you did." Iron couldn't speak. His throat had closed completely. "She wants you to know that it's okay to be happy now. It's okay to let go." Tears streamed down his face. He didn't try to stop them. "How do you know that?" Destiny smiled. "Because I can feel her. She's been helping you this whole time, guiding you, leading you to us." She touched the locket around his neck. "She's not gone, Grandpa Iron. She's just somewhere else. And she's waiting for you. But not yet. You have more work to do first." Iron knelt down, pulled her into his arms one more time. "I love you, sweetheart. I love you too." And in that moment, holding this child who'd survived the unsurvivable Iron, felt something he thought he'd lost forever. Peace. 1 year later. The Guardian program had become real. What started as a desperate promise had grown into a network spanning 5 states, safe houses, vetted foster families, legal aid, therapy services. Everything a child needed to rebuild. Iron stood in his office looking at a wall covered in photographs. Children who'd passed through their doors, families reunited, faces that haunted him, faces that inspired him. 217 children saved in 12 months. 217 lives rebuilt. Not enough. Never enough. But a start. A knock at the door. Darius walked in. Taller now. 16 years old. The haunted look in his eyes had faded. "Hey, old man." "Who are you calling old?" Darius grinned. That smile that had taken months to return. "I'm moving back next week. Finished my courses early. Ready to start working full-time. Your parents are okay with this. They support it. They understand. This is what I'm meant to do." Iron nodded. He'd known this was coming. "Welcome to the team." "Thanks." Darius paused. "There's something else." "What?" "Senator Whitfield's trial ended yesterday. Guilty on all counts. Life without parole." Iron let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. "And Judge Crawford?" "Same. The whole network is done. Every last one of them." Justice. Finally. "How does it feel?" Darius asked. "Like it's not enough. Like it'll never be enough." But it's something. Yeah, it's something. The door opened again. Destiny ran in. 10 years old now. Healthy, happy. Those ancient eyes finally holding the hope of a child. Grandpa Iron, Mom and Dad are here. They brought Tyler and Sophie. She grabbed his hand, pulled him toward the door. Come on, we're having a barbecue. Everyone's waiting. Iron let her drag him outside, into the sunlight, into the noise and chaos of a celebration. His brothers were there, Hawk and Diesel and Doc and all the rest. Rosa wearing his ring now, the Johnson family. Tyler and Sophie reunited with the people who loved them. 217 children who owed their lives to what had started with a single knock at midnight. Destiny tugged his hand. Are you happy, Grandpa Iron? He looked at her, at all of them, at everything they'd built together. Yeah, sweetheart, I think I am. She smiled, that smile that could light up the darkest night. Good, you deserve to be happy. Iron knelt down, touched the locket around his neck. You know what, I think you're right. He looked up at the sky, at the endless blue. I think I finally am. That night after everyone had gone, Iron sat alone in his office. The phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Mr. Walker. A woman's voice, trembling. Desperate. My name is Sarah Mitchell. I saw what you did on the news, the Guardian program. I need your help. What's wrong? My daughter. She's been missing for 3 days. The police won't listen. Nobody will listen. Iron stood up, that familiar fire igniting in his chest. How old is your daughter? 7. Her name is Emma. She has brown hair and green eyes. She was wearing a yellow dress when... Her voice broke. Please, I'll do anything. Please help me find my baby. Iron looked at the wall of photographs, at all the faces, all the stories. One more child, one more family, one more fight. I'll find her, he said. I promise. Because that's what the Guardian program did. That's what Iron did. That's what he would always do. One child at a time. One family at a time. One rescue at a time. Until no child was ever lost again. The door to his office opened. Darius stood there, already pulling on his jacket. New case, new case. I'm in. Iron smiled, grabbed his keys. Let's go save another kid. They walked out into the night together. 2 survivors, 2 fighters, 2 guardians, ready for whatever came next. Because the work was never done. The fight was never over. And as long as there were children who needed saving, there would be people willing to save them. That was the promise Iron had made. That was the promise he would keep. Forever.